This is inner motion. We don't run from the dark, we walk straight into it, and we come out unrecognizable. You don't need motivation, you need standards. Motivation is for people who wait to feel ready. Standards are for people who decide what must happen no matter what they feel. Because here's the truth, you'll never be motivated every day, but if your standards are high enough, you won't need to be. Motivation fades with mood. Standards are rooted in identity. Motivation is about feelings. Standards are about rules, the non-negotiables that shape your life, whether you feel like it or not. The ones who win don't always feel inspired. They just refuse to fall below their minimum. They don't say, "I'm tired, so I'll rest." They say, "I'm tired, but I still have to do what's required." That's the shift. Because discipline isn't just about effort, it's about identity. You don't train every day because it's fun. You train every day because that's who the F***ck you are. When your standards are high enough, action becomes automatic. There's no debate, no emotion, just execution. The world is filled with people waiting for the right feeling. But feelings are cheap. Standards are rare. When you make your life about standards, you rise, you build, you become consistent. Because you've defined what is required and you refuse to dip beneath it. It's no longer. I hope I'm productive today. It becomes my baseline is already higher than most people's peak. That's the power of standards. They anchor you, they define you, they protect you from yourself. Because the truth is, motivation will betray you. It will vanish when you need it most. But standards stay. They are the line you never cross. The promise you don't break even when no one's watching. Even when it's hard. Even when it hurts. Even when your mind screams for comfort. You hold the line because you've decided this is who I am now. They keep telling you to stay balanced. But balance is not what builds empires. Standards do. Balance is the lie they feed you to keep you average. To make you feel okay with being inconsistent. To convince you that showing up most of the time is enough. But the truth, most of the time, isn't enough. Not when you're trying to become something uncommon. Not when you're trying to build something legendary. Your standards are your foundation. They are the silent rules your life obeys when no one is watching. If your standard is excellence, you don't need permission to train. You don't need hype to show up. You show up because not showing up is no longer part of who you are. That's the level. That's the code. When your standards are higher than their expectations, you'll start to look insane to average people because they don't get it. They think you're obsessed. You're too hard on yourself. You need to relax. But they don't understand. They don't know what it's like to live with fire in your chest, to wake up with non-negotiables, to move like every rep matters. Because to you, it does. Every rep, every word, every hour, it matters. And it's not because of fear. It's because of standards. Fear fades, motivation fades, but standards remain. They don't ask how you feel. They remind you who you are. Asterisk, most people only act when they feel like it. You act because anything less would be a violation of your code. That's the difference. They wait for alignment. You move with alignment already built into your identity. To them, discipline looks like sacrifice. To you, it looks like breathing. Because you've stopped entertaining your feelings. You've stopped debating whether or not today's a good day. You've stopped giving your weakness a microphone. You've replaced your excuses with execution, your delays with direction, your doubts with standards. You don't rise to your dreams. You fall to your standard. So you raised your standards until there was nowhere to fall but forward. This isn't a phase. It's not a burst of motivation. It's a restructuring of how you move. You used to ask, how do I stay motivated? Now you ask, what standard must I uphold no matter what? Because that standard, it becomes the floor beneath your feet. It catches you when your mind tries to quit. It holds you when the world doesn't applaud. This is bigger than goals. This is about your word, your code, your name, and the man who honors his own standard is the man who builds a life no one can take from him. You stopped letting the world set your rhythm because the world moves slow. and you're done crawling. You built your own pace. You defined your own law. And now the standard lives in everything you do, in how you wake up, in how you train, in how you talk to yourself when no one's listening. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. Alignment with the man you said you would become. He's not built on feelings. He's built on habits, on systems, on reps done in silence. That's what separates you. They keep looking for motivation to strike again. You keep sharpening your sword in the dark. They think you're overdoing it, but you're not doing enough. Until your actions match your identity, you're not looking for praise. You're looking for peace. The kind of peace that only comes when you know you didn't fold today. You didn't cheat the mission. You didn't lower the standard. You stayed locked in. And that's what keeps you alive inside. They won't get it. They weren't meant to. Because most people live on emotions, not standards. They wake up and decide who they are based on how they feel. You wake up and remember who you are based on what you've committed to. Your calendar isn't random. It's ritual. Your training isn't optional. It's sacred. This isn't a lifestyle. It's a contract. Between you and the highest version of you, you don't skip the process. You honor it, even when it's boring, even when it's lonely, even when no one claps, because that's the test. Standards aren't built in highlight reels. They're forged in silence, in the days that feel the same, in the moments no one will ever see. That's why your results confuse them. They only saw the surface. They didn't see the code. They didn't see the standard, but you did, and you held it. Even when your hands were shaking, even when your mind was screaming, you held the line, because you knew this isn't about doing more. It's about doing what must be done. Without negotiation, you held the line, because you knew this isn't about doing more. It's about doing what must be done without negotiation. And when it's all said and done, when no one's around, when the lights are off and the cameras are gone, only one thing remains. Did you keep your word to yourself? That's the real scoreboard. Not likes, not followers, not money. Did you wake up and live in alignment with your own code? Did you keep the promise when no one was watching? That's why standards matter. They're not for the world. They're for you, because you've lived both lives. The one with excuses and the one with standards. You've seen who you were when you let your feelings run your day. And now you've seen who you're becoming when you let your code take over. So there's no going back, no soft returns, no easy days, only the next test, the next rep, the next choice to honor the standard. And that's why you'll win. Not because you felt like it, but because you became the kind of person who does it anyway. This is inner motion. We don't rise when we're motivated. We rise when we obey our standard. No applause, no noise, just alignment, just work, just the next rep, and that's enough. Because in the end, your standard becomes your legacy.